Welcome back to the If Guy, where we explore the fascinating what-ifs of history and beyond. Today, we're diving into a world of old jobs that no longer exist, roles that shape societies across the globe. Let's uncover 15 intriguing professions that time has left behind. Our journey begins in the foggy streets of industrial England, where the knocker-up ensured workers were on time. In an era before alarm clocks, these human alarm clocks roamed the streets with long sticks, tapping on bedroom windows to rouse people from slumber. Predominantly older men or women took up this role, wandering the streets in the early hours. Some knocker-ups even used pea shooters to reach higher windows, ensuring no one overslept. This job was crucial during the Industrial Revolution, especially in mill towns like Manchester and Liverpool, where factory workers depended on punctuality. The knocker-up was more than a job, it was a trusted community service, often passed down through generations. In cities plagued by rodents, the rat catcher was a crucial figure. From London to Paris, they controlled burgeoning rat populations, preventing disease outbreaks. These daring men were skilled in handling traps and poisons, often employing terriers or ferrets to aid in their task. Rat catchers sometimes kept ferrets as companions to help chase down elusive pests. Their work was especially vital in the 19th century, during times of urban expansion and poor sanitation. The job was perilous, with the constant risk of bites and disease, yet it was essential for maintaining public health. In some cultures, rat catching became a family trade, with secrets and techniques passed down through generations. Before electric streetlights, lamplighters illuminated the night. Found in cities like London and New York, they lit each lamp by hand, a task requiring agility and precision. Young boys or men typically took this job, running from lamp to lamp as dusk fell. The role of a lamplighter was more than just lighting lamps, they were keepers of the night, ensuring safety and security. Some lamplighters doubled as night watchmen, patrolling the streets and reporting any disturbances. They carried ladders and torches, climbing to reach the gas mantles. As electricity began to replace gas lamps, lamplighters often found new roles as maintenance workers for the emerging electric infrastructure. Before refrigeration, ice cutters braved harsh winters to harvest ice from frozen lakes. This physically demanding job was common in northern regions like Scandinavia and North America. Entire communities relied on these workers to preserve food year-round. Ice was stored in insulated ice houses and could last through summer, a vital resource for the pre-electric age. This trade was crucial for cities like Boston, where ice was shipped globally, even reaching as far as India. The ice cutting industry thrived in the 19th century, creating a complex supply chain from frozen lakes to urban iceboxes. Workers faced the constant danger of falling through ice, making it one of the most hazardous jobs of its time. In the early days of telephony, switchboard operators were the lifeline of communication. Mostly women, they connected calls by plugging and unplugging lines, showcasing remarkable multitasking skills. This job was pivotal in cities worldwide, from New York to Tokyo, serving as the backbone of communication networks. Operators often memorized local numbers, adding a personal touch to the service. They were not just connecting calls but also providing reassurance and assistance, becoming the friendly voice on the other end of the line. As technology advanced, operators adapted by learning new systems, transitioning from manual boards to automated exchanges. Before newspapers, the town crier delivered news and proclamations. Holding a bell, they shouted important updates in public squares. This role existed across Europe, in villages and cities alike, often held by strong-voiced men. Town criers were more than just messengers, they were trusted figures, often tasked with spreading royal decrees or local announcements. In some regions, the criers' announcements were legally binding, and their presence was respected by law, ensuring they could deliver news without interference. This role required not only a powerful voice but also a keen sense of diplomacy, as they often navigated sensitive political landscapes. In Edo period Japan, samurai relied on human alarm clocks. These individuals used drums or bells to wake their masters at precise times, vital for a warrior's disciplined life. This role required punctuality and respect for the samurai class, ensuring societal harmony. Beyond mere wake-up calls, these individuals often served as attendants or aides, deeply involved in the daily life of a samurai household. Their service was an art form, blending timing with cultural rituals, reflecting the structured nature of Japanese society at the time. Aboard naval ships, especially during the Age of Sail, Powder monkeys were young boys tasked with supplying gunpowder to cannons. This dangerous job was critical in battles across the seas, with boys as young as 12 carrying heavy loads amidst the chaos of combat. Their small size allowed them to move quickly in cramped ship quarters, a perilous yet vital role. Despite the danger, many young boys saw this as an opportunity for adventure and a chance to contribute to naval victories. The bravery and speed of powder monkeys were often celebrated in naval lore, highlighting their essential role in maritime warfare. In the Andes, glacier carriers transported ice down from mountains to cities like Lima. This ancient trade was essential for cooling and food preservation, often involving indigenous communities. The ice trade was a symbol of wealth, with the ice wrapped in straw to prevent melting during transport. These carriers navigated treacherous mountain paths, combining physical strength with traditional knowledge of the terrain. The trade not only supported local economies but also connected remote highland communities with bustling urban centers, showcasing an early form of supply chain logistics. In royal courts across Europe, the jester entertained nobles with wit and humor. Their role was more than comedy; they could speak truths disguised as jokes, influencing court decisions. Jesters wore colorful outfits and hats with bells, becoming iconic symbols of medieval entertainment. They were often well-educated, using satire and cleverness to navigate complex social hierarchies. Beyond entertainment, jesters acted as confidants to kings, offering insights and counsel in ways others could not. Their unique position allowed them to critique without fear, a delicate balance of humor and wisdom. In growing cities, night soil collectors removed human waste before modern plumbing. This essential but unsavory job was common in places like London and Beijing, maintaining urban sanitation. Collectors worked at night to avoid public scrutiny, a necessary service in burgeoning metropolises. Despite the unpleasant nature of the work, it was a well-organized system, with routes and schedules ensuring efficiency. The role was crucial in preventing disease outbreaks, making these collectors unsung heroes of urban health. Over time, the development of sewer systems rendered the job obsolete, but their contribution to public health remained significant. Before printing presses, scribes meticulously copied manuscripts, preserving knowledge. Found in ancient Egypt, Rome, and medieval monasteries, they were educated men or monks dedicated to their craft. Errors in transcription could lead to significant shifts in text interpretation, highlighting the scribe's responsibility. Their work was painstakingly detailed, often requiring years to complete a single text. Scribes played a pivotal role in the transmission of culture and knowledge, bridging generations with their careful documentation. The advent of the printing press transformed the dissemination of information, but the legacy of scribes endures in the manuscripts they left behind. The Pony Express riders delivered mail across the vast American West. These young, daring men rode through harsh conditions, from Missouri to California, in record time. Their service lasted only 18 months but became legendary for its speed and bravery. Riders faced dangers from weather, terrain, and potential attacks, relying on their wits and the endurance of their horses. The Pony Express was a marvel of logistics and horsemanship, symbolizing the pioneering spirit of the American frontier. Though short-lived, it paved the way for more reliable communication systems, including the telegraph. Before electricity, Chandlers crafted candles for homes and businesses. This trade was vital across Europe and early America, with families depending on their light-making skills. Candles were made from tallow or beeswax, with chandlers experimenting to improve burn time and brightness. The craft required knowledge of materials and techniques, with chandlers often creating decorative and scented candles for special occasions. As electricity spread, the demand for candles declined, yet the artistry of candle making found new life in decorative and ceremonial uses. Chandlers adapted by diversifying their products, blending tradition with innovation. In medieval Europe, barber-surgeons cut hair and performed surgeries. From bloodletting to tooth extractions, they were the go-to for medical needs in towns and villages. The barber pole symbolizes their dual role, with red representing blood and white for bandages. Barber-surgeons were trained through apprenticeships, learning both grooming and rudimentary medical skills. Their work was essential in a time when professional medical practitioners were scarce and expensive. They provided accessible healthcare, often based on traditional and folk practices. The separation of barbering and surgery into distinct professions marked the evolution of medical science, but the legacy of barber-surgeons highlights the intertwined history of grooming and healing. These old jobs remind us of how societies adapted to their times, creating roles that were once indispensable. As we move forward, it's fascinating to imagine which of today's jobs might become obsolete. Until next time, keep wondering, keep exploring. This is the If Guy, signing off. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey. If you enjoyed this dive into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more intriguing what-ifs from the If Guy.